Our little what's trending will stay in the NBA. The Thunder beat the Rockets 112-107. James Harden, well, he threw up a ton of bricks. He was 1 of 17 on three-pointers. 1 of 17. By the way, he still had 29 points.
That's the weirdest thing.
Blows my mind. But he's 1 of 17. Those 16 misses, here's the stat, gang. Those 16 misses are tied for an NBA record, a feat which has been accomplished 7 times. So 7 times, somebody has missed 16 three-pointers. 6 of those have been by Harden himself. Wow. He's had some great nights. He had some bad nights. Russell Westbrook had a better night. Triple-double, 32, 11, and 12. It was his first triple-double against the Thunder. Now he has had one against every team in the NBA, joining the only other person that has done that. That would be LeBron James. Ben Simmons had himself a big night and didn't attempt a three.
Come on, Ben!
Here we go. Here's your specific first-timer. He's the first player in NBA history to have a 30-point triple-double with 5 steals and an 80% shooting percentage in the same game. Did you get all that?
Could you repeat that one more time, please?
He's the first player in NBA history to have a 30-point triple-double with 5 steals and an 80% shooting percentage in the same game, as opposed to in different games.
Thank you.
Really?
Thank you. That's what makes this so bizarre.
That's according to Elias. He went for a career-high 34 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, 5 steals, but he did not attempt a three-pointer. 76ers won, by the way, 117-111 over the Nets. And in football news, we'll get more into this. The Niners' Tevin Coleman saw him leave the game in a cart. He did have a dislocated shoulder. His coach, Kyle Shanahan, says, I do expect him to have a chance to play in the Super Bowl. Don't hold me to that. We'll find out more after the imaging, but expect him to have a good chance. Shanahan described Coleman's injury as a lethal weapon 2 injury. Where Mel Gibson would pop his shoulder out.
Yeah, that's great.
And the fact that they had to pop it back in. That's what's trending. It's awesome.
What's Trending is brought to you by Redbox. Redbox has the newest movies fresh from the theater for under $2 a night. Head to the box or stream on demand.
Again, it wasn't awesome that the dislocation,
right.
But the describing it by Kyle, the
using
reference.
that analogy.
Yeah.
But by the way, now I am pulling for Tevin Coleman so hard.
Oh, without question.
I want Coleman in this game so bad.
You know dude's going to do everything he possibly can to be in that game. Without question.
Great job by Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
Lethal weapon,
The
too.
lethal weapon, too.
Oh, it's fantastic. All right, Golic and Wingo here with you. Glad you're with us. So let's get through some of those oddly specific things that we were talking about in the Sports Center update there. Or was it What's Trending? It was What's Trending.
That was What's Trending.
There you go. It's 2-point stance, 5-4 downs, whatever we want to talk.
How dare you?
How dare me? The 76ers thing, right? So Ben Simmons had a great night, right? That's basically what we've come down to.
He did.
But it is funny when it's described as an historic night. It can you have? I guess here's the question, because there were some oddly specific stats in there, right?
Yeah.
Can you do something for the first time in history and it not be historic? I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, because again, 30-point triple-double, okay, but with 5 steals.
Yeah.
And shooting 80% from the field.
Yeah.
Why, again, they add in the same game, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because
it just
that
seems
would make it the
like, I
historic
get
game.
it. It's the first time that's ever happened. Cool. But it's like, well, I'm going to mark that date on my calendar.
He has a career-best 5-game streak with 20 or more points and had his 4th triple-double of the season. And they beat the Nets. Kyrie Irving didn't play because of a hammy. He had missed all that time with the shoulder and now had the tight hammy, wanted to get it checked, and they sat him out this game.
Things have gotten awfully sticky in Brooklyn, man.
Yeah, they have.
Like Kyrie Irving out here naming names.
And listen, it was a throwaway year anyway, but just let it be a throwaway year, man. He just starts throwing gas on, making a fire and then throwing gas on his own fire.
I was going to say, we went through all this turmoil around the trade deadline last year with the Lakers. Maybe Kyrie Irving, when he called to apologize for LeBron, was really just ripping plays out of the playbook at that point. How do I make sure that the rest of the team will finish this season disgruntled and upset with me?
Yeah.
I want more 3-point shots from Ben Simmons.
Well, I mean, the interesting part with Ben Simmons,
we all want that?
Obviously, we talked about Embiid being out for them for an extended period of time. Like, the run that he's been on, all right, and I don't know, this is the frustrating part, right? Because I feel like nights like this beget fewer nights where he's even going to attempt a 3-pointer.
Correct.
He's going to look at everybody and say, well, I don't need to because I can do this. Yet every year we see guys get to the postseason and realize just being able to do this when you get there ain't usually good enough.
And then there's the issue of what happened with James Harden last night. Again, that's their 4th straight loss, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And Mike D'Antoni had said, boy, when it rains, it pours, and it's pouring right now. And then our own Tim Legler, whom we love with all of our
Timmy.
heart, decided to take up on that and run with it.
Well, if it's pouring, I'm guessing it's the hailstones that James Harden is throwing up against the backboard right now, because what I've seen over the last 7 games is 76 missed three-point shots. That's not taken. That's just missed three-pointers. And when you talk about an offense that relying on one player, you are going to have a stretch where the Rockets are losing games, and that's what's going on right now. It's as simple as that. When your best player and a guy that ball dominant is shooting the ball like this, there is really no way to overcome that, and that to me is what's going on with the Rockets.
And look, they're still 10 games over 500. They're squarely sitting in 6th place. But this was the question, right? Because you have your two best players on that team. What do they want all the time?
The ball.
The ball.
I mean, between the two of them, they took 53 of the 97 shots that the team took. Again, James Harden still scored 29 points. He was 9 of 29, 1 of 17 from three-point land, and 10 of 13 from the free throw line. So, yeah, it's those two guys going to shoot. And as many said, are they the ones taking away? Well, Harden more. Russell Westbrook, we've seen he can be an entertaining player, but Harden, people get a little tired of that ball, right? Dribble, you know.
Well, or Shanae said dribble,
Yeah,
take a three,
dribble,
step back,
yeah.
do a free throw line, dribble.
I guess my point, like, there's not really much to take away from this, right? Like, it's a bad stretch for a guy that ends up being, if not all of at least 50% of your offense. Like, that's showbiz in this case with this guy.
Yeah.
This is what you committed
He's not going to stop shooting. That's for
I
sure.
guess the bigger question I have, because they made the big trade, right, to get these two guys together who were part of that amazing roster in the Thunder. When you look at all the players they had on the Thunder at one time, at one point it was ridiculous how that team couldn't come together.
Revenge game for them last night.
Exactly. Do we think it's going to work long term? I mean,
No, God, no.
The concept is going to work.
I mean, the concept of James Harden being your best player like this when it gets to the postseason, like, again, I guess this run is the perfect example. Like, he's got 4 straight games where he shot under 40%, I believe. In addition to the stat that we read about 16 missed threes, where he has got 6 of the 7 instances of that have occurred. This season, there have been 10 instances of a player missing 13 threes in a game. He has 8 of them.
Yeah.
He has 8 of the 10. So this is just how the game goes. But what does it tell you? If he's got 6 of those 7 all time, we've lived this before.
Yeah.
Like, this is a part of one guy dominating your offense like this. So what's that mean? You're only going to win in the postseason if he just happens to start making at the right time. And we know, like, the hot hand fallacy, all that stuff, it's not real, so it's just kind of luck at that point. It's, all right, does he hit it at the right time? Because if not, you got what we got against years ago against, what was it, Golden State, when he missed, like, however many threes straight in that game.
Was it game 6 or game 5, whatever it was?
Tough to do in a 7-game series, right, to be that consistent through it all.
Or that consistently bad. Like, it goes one way or the other, but your chances of that happening are way increased when one dude is that much of the source of your offense.
But we're going to be okay tomorrow, okay? Because New Orleans won last night, 126-116 over the Grizzlies. They've won 11 of their last 16 games, and Zion plays tomorrow. NBA is saved.
Yeah.
We're back.
We are back.
Wednesday is Z Day.
Tomorrow night.
Wednesday is Z Day, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll have a lot more about that when Doris Burke joins us in just a couple of hours. But coming up next,
oh boy,
all I ask is you're making statements, you better come correct. Because if you don't come correct, I am here to correct you. We'll get to that after this.
I'm scared.
I think the statement is, if you come at the king, you best not miss. I think that's how it goes.
I can't go full the way.
Well, when it comes to hiring, though, you don't have time to waste. You need to get your short list of qualified candidates fast. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screener questions based on your job requirements, and zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Your time is precious. Let Indeed help you get to your short list of qualified candidates and discover why more than 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. That's Indeed.com/hire. The flamethrower is